My dear child, this is a season of extreme release, and the universe wants you to know that you are absolutely deserving of the life you envision. So, releasing what no longer enhances your life is one of the most liberating things you will ever do. But it can also be just as painful to let go of what is familiar, to step into the unknown. You are aligned with the things you want every time, and you elevate your mind, body, and soul. So don't deprive yourself of the power of moving forward because you are holding on to people, places, things, and situations who were never meant to go along with you in the first place. And some things are seasonal and not meant to last forever, and that is okay. Letting go is hard, but most time it's necessary. It takes faith, courage, and action. It definitely is a challenge, but you do have what it takes to rise to the occasion. Nothing has the power to hold you back. Now, if we could just overcome those fears, know that you are a beam of light destined to shine bright and throughout your entire journey. So, somewhere along the way, you just forget how to celebrate and how incredibly dope and divine you really are. And that is perfectly okay. And let this be your reminder of how far you have come and how far you are about to go. So, the best of the best will always be you. Remember that. Embrace your inner warrior, let go in love, and move on. And you got this. So, my child, know that some people have to go out of your life and some have to stay in your life. Some doors needed to be closed which you thought you needed in your life, and some doors have to be open through the closed doors for what you exactly needed. You know about the story of Jairus' daughter, right? I made the people who stood in the room where she was lying to go out. Only allowed a few people to stand in the room because of their faith in me, in knowing what I am going to do, and then I closed the door of the room because I needed to open up another door of supernatural miracle for her by letting some people stand. By sending some people out who stood in the room, by closing the doors. So, in your life, some people whom you think you needed may have gone, and some people still stay. So, in your life, you may feel like some doors are closed. So, don't worry because I have to do some supernatural miracle in your life. So, by letting some people stand, by letting some people out who was there in your life, and by closing doors to open up another miraculous door which can't be shut by anyone for my glory. So, always focus on me, and I know what I am doing, and I know why I am doing everything. And one thing let me say, everything is for your good, So trust in me. So, my child, know that you cannot pick and choose who is allowed to overstep boundaries, and you cannot give certain people a free pass to harm you because you have known them for a long time and because they are family, because you can't imagine life without them. If someone is making you uncomfortable, you are allowed to cut them out of your life or at least set boundaries about what is and is not acceptable from them. So you can't keep giving people you care about second chances and when they have no intention of treating you better in the future. Sometimes walking away is the only answer, and sometimes you need to take dramatic steps for the sake of your own mental health. My child, know that God is at work and His plan will work. God wins, and it just might not be how you picture it to end up, and actually, it probably would not. Look back, how often has something gone all the way you way, and it has not, it would not, and there are too many factors out of your control. So, why not abandon your expectations, erase that picture in your head, face each day, face life with a blank slate? Free of your limited view, be open to God's design. Walk through all of life, the good and bad, confident in God. The more open you are, and the smoother life will go, open and trusting. Everything is working out in your favor of your highest self, and you are entering a chapter of new energetic shifts that will usher in the birth of powerful new opportunities and the death of anything that is not in alignment with your deepest desires. Do not force anything. Use this time to show up consistently, day in, day out, to make incremental improvements. So, as you expand and shift your own energy, everything around you will transform. So, my child, know that. Love yourself enough to give yourself everything you ever wanted, and know that you will continue to experience challenges while you do the work, and you can conquer them and climb even further. Accept your life's trial and trump, and they are the bricks that build empires. No moment is wasted when it transforms you into who you need to become to thrive. Mistakes are where as you expand and shift your own energy, everything around you will transform, and that you are the masterpiece. Keep creating magic. So focus on what makes you happy. Focus on what makes your soul feel at peace. You are your biggest commitment, so start loving your flaws, your awokeness, your weirdness, your intensity, and your vulnerability. Life became so much more fulfilling when you are simply yourself, and the world keeps spinning whether people understand you or not. So why not make the next trip around the sun about you? So my child, know that if you find yourself constantly trying to prove your worth to someone, you do not know your true value because value cannot be proven. It is either owned through your embodiment of that value or not, recognize it in you or not, and if you seek validation from others, you will never feel enough and will constantly crave more approval, reaffirming that you don't believe enough in your value from within, and your life is not yours if you always care what others think. So, what people see in you is a reflection of how they see themselves, and the energy you emit based on how you see yourself will be mirrored through others and treatment of you. You cannot make others love, respect, or appreciate you without first loving, respecting, and appreciating yourself, leading others to instinctively. So, my child, know that. Don't give up because what you thought was supposed to work is not working at all for you. Chase another path and find another mountain to climb. Look for another route you can cross. Remember that your happiness is your journey. Your happiness gets to be different, to feel different, to sound different from the rest of the world. Don't force your happiness to fit in, and don't force it to look the same as everyone else. No matter how long it takes, fight to find the happiness that sticks to you completely. You owe it to yourself to hold on to what genuinely makes you happy, and no journey is so small or insignificant that it's not worth every step you are taking today. So believe in your happiness, believe in finding it, believe in all the good that belongs to you. So, my child, know that you cannot hide yourself and expect to be seen. Remove the mask and free your mind, body, and soul from anything that does not align with your very being. Go ahead and dig through the layers of everything and you have learned and everything you have experienced and everything you have been told to be, so that you may discover who you are and rediscover who you are. Be vulnerable, show up for yourself as yourself, and watch how the universe rewards your bravery, your honesty, and your strength. So, in a world constantly asking you to be someone you are not, and one of the bravest things you will ever do is allow your intrinsic self to shine through. So step into your truth, rid yourself of expectations, limitations, of the need for external validation. So be honest with yourself, do what feels right for you, what feels good for you, and you only get one chance at this little thing called life. Let your light bleed into this world, and it does not need another copy of someone else and it needs you just as you are. My child, know that you get to choose how you feel and what you do and what you believe. So that is what makes life so exciting. So when you give your power away to others by allowing them to make those choices for you, so you give up the right to paint on your own canvas. So you put down your paint brushes and allow others to paint your picture of life for you. So when you do this, you literally numb a portion of your senses and you no longer have that zest for life that you once had. In essence, you turn out the light from within that makes you you. So if life is feeling a little bleak for you right now and you feel like you have lost a part of who you are, then chances are and you may be giving other people permission to live your life for you. So this is a form of people pleasing and it can be seen in every area of your life, and it happens when you don't allow yourself to think and believe what you want to because the rest of the world might not agree. And it happens when you say yes to something when you really want to say no. And it happens when you want to feel a certain way about something. But someone else tells you that you have no right to feel that way and you believe them. So it's time to reclaim your life and you get to choose how you feel and what you do and what you believe. So honor that and take back your right to paint the picture of your dreams. And what are you willing to release in this season? So some people will never be happy, and when you start choosing yourself, that has nothing to do with you. So let them pot and they will be okay. And you will too, and you deserve to choose yourself. You deserve to give yourself the same love, care, and grace, and you give so freely to others. So your choices are yours to make, and don't allow others to make your choices for you. So my child, know that. Do not give up, and the confusion that is going on inside you today is part of life processes. So there will always be tiring days and there will always be beautiful smiles out there. And maybe a good day does not change your life, but a smile warms your heart. So there are countless things inside you that you try to hide from yourself as a form of refuge from the lost version of yourself. Dealing with your own monsters under the bed can seem too ghastly for a Friday morning, but the void in you is not about someone or a good dose of whiskey. It is about the best of yourself, fighting yourself, wanting to show you that it is okay to love yourself before getting drunk and falling headlong into empty loves. So, showing you that you are truly too deep to throw yourself in shallow places and even hitting the sudden falls. So you fell, got up, and will fail again a million times, and that will never makes you an empty being, just full of experiences that one day you want to grow old next to who will have the confidence find yourself. So, my child, know that. Be the person who is genuinely happy for other people's success. But in order to be that person, first of all, you have to be deeply happy with yourself. So, when you are grateful for your life and you can see the blessings in your own journey, your happiness no longer comes from comparison. So, the ego always derives your happiness and success in comparison to someone else's life, and such people can never be truly happy for others. And it's unfortunate, and that the survival based system conditions you with massive competition and comparison. So, happiness comes from gratitude, from being happy with yourself, and it comes from heart centered energy and unlearn the separation and releases the oneness. So, always be happy for others, and the universe never leaves anyone out. We are one. So, my child, know that. Think about it, no matter what they do, you genuinely believe in their ability and capability, and know that whatever they choose to do with their life will be an absolute success. So now imagine how differently you would feel if you treated yourself in that same way. Imagine if you instinctively and unconditionally wholeheartedly believed in your own ability and capability and did not let self doubt or low confidence and get in the way of your dreams. So just imagine what you would do and how you would feel and where you could go and what you would be able to achieve, and if you just trusted yourself like you trust others. Because I'm telling you right now, everyone around you believes you have what it takes, and everyone but you. So, my child, know that. You cut people off the moment you find yourself feeling comfortable around them, and it is a habit, and you have learned the hard way, and sometimes you force yourself to let go of people, and even when you don't want to, sometimes you like being with this person. You find that you want to tell them everything about yourself and let them be a part of your life, but your mind somehow convinces you to walk away. So it is how your previous heartbreaks have made you, and they have driven you to believe that no good times comes from letting your guard down, and so you always detach yourself from anyone who gets too close to you. So you stay far and far away from the idea of loving someone or allowing others to love you. So, my child, know that. Over the past 2 years, you have been through a lot, and so many things inside you have been transformed. You have gone through many dark nights of the soul, and you have done a great deal of shadow work. You have been strong for so long. You have been doing so well. Be grateful for yourself. Healing is painful, but nothing is more painful than suffering from flashbacks, nightmares, intrusive thoughts, and feelings. Day by day, one wound at a time, keep healing yourself and give yourself permission to take all the time you need to heal. You deserve to heal and you will heal. My child, know that. Feelings are a reaction to a belief, they are secondary to beliefs. Feelings are not the primary experience of reality, and beliefs are the primary interface. First, you believe something is true, then you get the feeling, and then you have the reinforcing thoughts which may reinforce the belief, and then you regenerate more of the same feelings. But the feelings that you are incompetent comes from the fact and that you simply choose to believe you are incompetent. So it is your choice to believe that, but you don't have to. So I want to let go of it, and every time I try, I keep getting these voices that tell me, and remember this time, remember that time when so and so happened. So let them come up, and so what you see, you are trying to shut portions of yourself off, and you think that when you integrate, you will never hear those voices again. And that is not true, and you will always hear those voices. And as a matter of fact, the more you integrate, the more you will hear them, because you are accepting everything every way you are and into your life. And those are some of the ways you can exist. So they come up not to show you, and you have failed off to show you, and you are stuck. They keep coming up to give you the opportunity to realize how much you must have changed. So you don't relate to them the same way and you used to, unless, of course, you choose to do so. When you say, oh well, look, the voices are still coming up, and that must mean I have failed, and that must mean I'm not doing the right thing and the right way. So you are choosing to maintain the same relationship with those voices, but you don't have to. The voices are there as an opportunity to realize you can form a different relationship with them. So, alright, here comes the voice. Well, remember when this happened that way? Well, yes, but so what? That was then, and I have learned since then. And because you, oh wonderful voice, have now reminded me of the way, and I did it then, and I have a great and positive opportunity to see how differently I am going to do it now. So, my child, know that. We always tell ourselves that the people we love will be around forever, and until one day they are not anymore. And I know you are missing them right now. So that it feels like a visceral ache deep within a part of yourself, and you did not know existed until the day you lost them. So today I hope you remember that they live on within you, not just in your heart, but in the way you infuse their care and kindness into everything you do, and in the way you take risk, knowing that tomorrow is not promised. In the way you so courageously stay open to new possibilities even when you feel like you simply can't keep going. And in the way you continue to love so fiercely and purely, and despite knowing the terror and grief of loss, I hope you remember that even when you lose someone you love, the love you share lives on. Their love is always with you and they are still with you. And in the way you continue to love so fiercely and purely, despite knowing the terror and grief of loss, I hope you remember that even when you lose someone you love, the love you share lives on. Their love is always with you and they are still with you. So, my child, know that. I hope you learn to accept yourself and life for all its contrast. And I hope you learn to accept grief as you accept joy, mistakes, as you welcome moments wrapped in perfection and loses as you savior wins. And I hope you learn to love and embrace life and yourself when it feels both perfect and imperfect. I hope you strive to find the purpose behind those who are and are not in your life today. So I hope you learn to find contentment when your expectations are met and unmet, and I hope you learn to chase after your dreams and also pace yourself to life when it is quiet and slow, when it's non momentous and unmoving. So I hope you learn to be present in every moment that confronts you so that memories made for keepsakes and sweet nostalgia don't escapes you. And I hope you learn to accept that you cannot control your life and experiences entirely. So I hope you learn to love and find the blessings behind each act and pain. And I hope you learn to accept where you were yesterday and where you are today and the possibility of where you may land tomorrow. So, most importantly, I hope you learn to have a faith in the person you are becoming through and all of the life's contrast in darkness and light. So, my child, know that. As humans, we all have basic needs: safety, love, connection, touch, identity, belonging, meaning, independence, respect, boundaries, appreciation, emotional validation, rest, being listened to, etc. But we all experience times when our needs are not met, and what happens then? Typically, our unmet needs express themselves in our emotions. So we feel things like disappointment, loneliness, fear, anger, shame, grief, etc. And if these needs and their related emotions are not met with proper love, empathy, and care, they will eventually lead us to act out with unhealthy behaviors. And we will start turning to things like food, alcohol, sleep, drugs, codependent relationships, TV, or social media to try to satisfy our unmet needs and another way. So, over time, these behaviors can become addictions that we are dependent on in order to feel good. So, what is a healthier way to respond to our unmet needs? Pay attention to what you are feeling and what it's communicating about your needs. Our feelings are signals that our needs are not being met. Naming our emotions help us identify our unmet needs. For example, if you are feeling lonely and it means you need connection and belonging, or if you are feeling anxious, it means you need safety and security, and ask for empathy from a safe person and God, and try sharing your feelings with a tender, hurted friend and who is good at listening. Then receive their empathy and love for your unmet needs. And for some of us, this may be all we need to satisfy our unmet needs. Look to God to meet your needs. God is always present to meet our needs. And we can look to our all powerful, all loving, ever present Lord to care for us and guide us in healthy ways to care for our needs. And the only reason God is taking so long and having you wait is because He has something absolutely special, unique, extraordinary, and amazing for you. Hold on, your faithfulness and your obedience have not gone unnoticed. Keep believing your latter day will be so much more sweeter than the former. So, my child, know that. You can't force what is not meant to be. You can't force them to be who you want them to be. And you can't force them to put in the effort. You can't force them to care. You can't force them to be loyal. And you can't force them to love you how you desire to be loved. But you have control over what you accept and don't accept, and I think many of us lose ourselves when we try to make what is not meant to work. When doing right by ourselves is at the forefront of our decisions, and we don't let the wrong connections push us into betraying ourselves. So, my child, know that there is a big difference between being wanted and being valued. Please don't mistake desire for love and don't build your relationship or marriage on a weak foundation. So many people make the wrong choices because they are simply not aware, and you deserve so much more than someone may want you for your body as a status symbol, a trophy, an accessory to adorn his or her ego, and they may want you for your social or professional status. They may want you only for the good times, gratification, entertainment, and pleasure. So they may want you for their comfort and convince. They may put you on a pedestal and like only the nice parts, and this is not real love. This is both of you using each other to satisfy the needs of your ego, and in such a relationship, both people are simply in love with the ideas of each other, and they are in love with the photo shopped versions of each other, and they try to hide in another to avoid facing the multidimensional nature of their true selves. So they are looking to take from each other, and which is why these relationships crumble so easily and under pressure. Love-based relationships transcend the limitation of the ego, and they are about growth through greater awareness. So they are about compassion and passion, but also about tough love and brutal honesty. They not only allow you to be who you really are, and they also help you discover and grow much bigger, so beautiful and better than you are. In an ego-based relationship, you will never feel like you are enough, and that is why you keep talking from each other. And in a love-based relationship, you are already enough, and that is why you keep giving to each other, and you know that you have the potential to be so much more than just enough. So, my child, know that. At the end of the day, I hope you can say you choose happiness, that you choose to find joy within the smaller, softer moments, and that tug at your heart strings. So that you did not wait for Friday, for next month, for summer to go out and experience all of the beauty this world has to offer. At the end of the day, I hope you can say you are proud of how hard you fought to become the best version of yourself. That you unapologetically and courageously choose growth, choose healing even on the days you did not know how, even on the days it hurts, and at the end of the day, I hope you can say you choose your life and that you did not settle or conform or shrink yourself to fit into someone else's cage, and that you can boldly and loudly declare that you are and have always been the author of your story. So, at the end of the day, I hope you can say you did your best and that you relentlessly pursued your dreams and chased all that ignited something bright within your soul. So that you slammed yourself into the people and places, experiences, and opportunities that were placed before you, and that you did not hold yourself back, and that you did not stand in your own way, and that you went all in and never looked back. So, my child, know that. The next time you start feeling lost, adrift, like you are wandering around with question marks in your mind, and I want to remind you that it is okay, and if you have not yet found your new normal, and you are not further ahead or more behind than anyone else, there is no glory to be had in being the first to have it all together, and there is no shame in feeling stuck or grief stricken or alone. So, no matter what you might perceive with your eyes, and it is only with your heart that you will see the true nature of those around you. Some of us wear pain on our sleeves in an act of surrender. Some of us smile sunbeams through the darkness, hanging heavy in our chest, but at the end of the day, we are all heartbroken over what has been taken away from us. Yet so bravely hopeful for the promises of what still may come, and it is hope, and I think that will carry us through together with hope and me and you. Dear God, Father, I feel so blessed every single second of the day, knowing that you, the great and mighty Creator, are forever by my side. I delight in your boundless compassion, and I thank you for the peace in knowing that regardless of where I am, and I am never beyond your reach. I rejoice in the daily evidence of your presence that convince me of how I am forever on your mind, and I marvel at how you intentionally take time to show just how significant I am to you, especially when I consider my countless flaws. And I pray, Lord, that you will continue to develop my sensitivity toward your presence, that I might not miss your movement and discern your voice as you speak to me. My heart overflows, and as I celebrate you, Lord, for loving me, longing to be near me, and imparting your spirit within me, in Jesus' almighty name I pray, Amen. Dear God, I am tired of feeling sorry for myself. I am tired of wishing that life could be different or that things could be easier. I am tired of letting people get my hopes up only to end up being disappointed every single time. I am tired of complaining about how unlucky I am and how the things I want never seem to work out for me. I'm tired of being sad, unmotivated, waking up every morning without a purpose, and I'm tired of it all. Fuck that, and I think I'm finally ready to make that change. Fuck things being easy, let it be hard, and I will still get it done anyway. I would very much rather live in my own failures than to let another thing disappoint me again because I place too much hope in it. Lord our God, merciful God, and Almighty Father in heaven, we beseech you, look upon us as your children, for in spite of everything, all of us are allowed to be your children and to praise you for all the good you are doing and for all you are still want to do for us. Hear our prayers as we come to you with particular concerns, asking for your will to be done in us, for everything to be carried out according to your good purpose, that we may be joyful even in hard and serious times and may hold fast to what you have promised. My child, know that during this time you could not enter the king's presence without him calling you, unless when you came into his presence he offered his gold scripture. If the king did not offer his gold scepter, then you would be killed. So Esther put on her royal robes and went to the king's hall without the king's calling her. When the king saw Esther, he welcomed her and held out his gold scepter. King Xerxes told Queen Esther that he would give her up to half of the kingdom. Esther asked the king and Haman to come to a banquet that she prepared for them, and the king agreed, and they went to the banquet with Haman. When they were at the banquet, the king again asked her what she really wanted. Esther told the king and Haman to come to another banquet tomorrow, then she would tell them. My child, know that what do you do when God gives you a promise? You hold on, even if and when it does not make sense. Even if people laugh at you, question you, or doubt you, you hold on. God did not give the promise to them, He gave it to you. Your job is not to convince others of what God gave you, but to trust that it will come to pass. My child, know that. The thing is, you don't know until you know, and sometimes we find things out by going through it, and sometimes we find things out after a period of time passes. Sometimes people show their true colors after they start getting used to you, and sometimes it takes time for you to realize that a person is different from what you think and they actually are. Sometimes it takes a couple miscommunications for you to find out that the person you thought you were meant to be with actually is not meant for you at all. Sometimes the person you love changes their mind about you, and sometimes are that person. What are you filling up with deep down, and are you filled with stress, worry, anxiety, anger, frustrations, grudges, or hopefully gratitude, compassion, and big faith? What is going on inside of you affects the way you think and how you see others, what you say and do. If you want your life to be peaceful, happier, it starts with you. Clean out any negative, freely forgive, trust God. Take care of what you watch, listen to who you are around, be filled with goodness and it will be multiplied in your life. Be filled with anger and that will be multiplied too. So, my child, know that. Your emotions are a gift from God. They allow you to understand, connect, and communicate with yourself, other people, and God. They add color, meaning, and depth to your life. They also communicate important information to you. While your emotions might not feel pleasant at times, they are always there to help you understand and react to what is going on around you. They play an important role in keeping you safe and helping you recognize when your needs are not going met. And the best part is, God meets you in your emotions. He does not reject you for having emotions, and He does not leave you on your own to deal with them. The loving Lord enters into your pain, listening, validating, and offering the empathy that you need to move forward with wholeness. So, God sometimes meditates His love and care through another person. So, friends, whatever you are feeling today, I pray that you will befriend your emotions as a gift from God. May you take courage to share honestly with those who love you and desire to care for you, and be open to receive the empathy you need. So, my child, know that at this time, King Xerxes reigned over 127 province stretching from India to Ethiopia, and in the third year of this region, King Xerxes had a celebration that lasted 180 days. After it was over, and King Xerxes gave a banquet for all of the people, poor and rich, and it lasted 7 days. Queen Vashti was having a banquet for the woman in the royal place. So during this time, man and woman had separate banquets, parties from the man, and on the final day of the feast, King Xerxes had drunk too much wine and was drunk, and he wanted to show off the beauty of the queen. So he asked his men to bring the queen to him with the crown on her head. But Queen Vashti refused to come. When King Xerxes heard this, and he was very angry. So he met with his loyal advisors. They suggested that Queen Vashti be banished from the presence of King Xerxes, and decree was set in places. So after King Xerxes' anger had subsided and he thought about the queen, so his attendants suggested that they bring beautiful young women to the place. So he would choose a wife, and one of those women chosen was Esther. So Esther was a Jew, but she did not tell anybody because Mordecai told her not to. Mordecai, her cousin, took her in once her parent died, and Esther come before the king, and King Xerxes loved her more than all of the other young women, and he saw her outer beauty and inner beauty. So he placed a crown on her head and declared her queen, and he gave a great banquet in her honor. My child, know that. Numbers. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye come into the land of your habitations, so which I give unto you, and will make an offering by fire unto the Lord, a burnt offering or a sacrifice, in performing a vow, or in a freewill offering, or in your solemn feast, to make a sweet savour unto the Lord. So of the herd or of the flock then shall be that offered his offering unto the Lord. Bring a meat offering or a tenth deal of your mingled with the fourth part of an hin of oil. So and the fourth part of an hin of wine for a drink offering shalt thou prepare with the burnt offering, or sacrifices for one lamb, or for a ram thou shalt prepare for a meat offering 2 deal of the flour mingled with the third part of an hin of oil, and for a drink offering thou shalt offer the third part of an hin of wine for a sweet savour unto the Lord. So Act 7 by 1 by 5 then said, The high priest, are these things so? And he said, Men, brethren, and fathers hearken, and the God of glory appeared unto our father Abraham, and when he was in Mesopotamia, before the dwelt in Charan, and said unto him, Get thee out of the country and from thy kindred, and come into the land which I shall shew thee. And then come he out of the land of the Chaldeans, and dwelt in Charan and from Terence. When his father was dead, he removed him into this land, and where in you now the well. So and he gave him none inheritance in it, no, not so much as to set his foot on. He promised that he would give it to him for a possession, and to his seed after him, when as yet he had no child. Type if you have faith and trust in God, and if you want your all wishes come true, type Amen. God will fulfill your all wishes. Type yes if you have belief. Type 11 if you have trust in God. And if you like this video, please do subscribe my channel for more encouraging, motivational, inspirational God words.